Let's put the spotlight then on luxury skincare and personal care brand RAS, which has recently raised $1.5 million from Green Frontier Capital and other existing investors. Joining in, we've got Shapika Jain. She's the founder and CEO at RAS. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining in. So clearly, product range, offline EBOs, all of that is what you're looking at to utilize your funds. Give us more perspective.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me here, Van. This is amazing that we've raised this funding. And with this, we are planning to kind of expand offline, increase our depth in the online channels, and improve our customer experience and innovation in our product categories. We're also looking at expanding our product categories. We're venturing into skincare infused makeup and also hair care products, expanding our beauty and personal care range.
All right. Let's talk about growth and the kind of numbers that you've clocked in because, I understand that there's been a 20x growth in the last 2 years. How have you been growing in terms of your overall revenue? What's the average purchase price? And what makes your company stand out?
Yes, so we've been focusing a lot on building out our products because in the end, it's the products which are our superstars. The growth has been because of our high love for our products. We have around 45% repeat rates. We've been growing so much because of our focus on our channels. And this growth is largely by our own D2C store. With that, we have complete control over what our customers are buying, what are they liking, from which pin code are they buying, which SKU. And that gives us the advantage of being able to communicate with them, understand what are their pain points, get to know what is it that they really want us to do, what products do they want us to launch. Like I personally also speak to a lot of customers, and that's what is helping us in our growth. Along with our D2C store, we're also growing with our other channels like with Nykaa, Amazon, and Myntra. Now we're also with Tira Beauty. We're there with a lot of other 5-star hotels in the offline space with spa as the main focus, like Four Seasons, Grand Hyatt, St. Regis. And we're also there with Vistara Airlines, in which we're supplying to them the premium economy pouch for their long haul flights. So that's been the secret to our kind of growth. It's complete focus on the customer and what the customer wants.
So could you put that into numbers in terms of what your revenue has been for FY22? What your average, transactions are per customer?
For sure. So we've been growing around 300% from the previous financial year. The projection for this financial year is also to grow 300 to 350% from the previous financial year. Our average basket size per customer is between 1,800 to 2,000, depending on the seasonality and the products that we focus on for that month. And we have a returning rate, like I told you, of 45%. And we have a high NPS score, which shows customer satisfaction of around between 60 to 65. It varies. So that is what the numbers are for that. Like I told you, our D2C store is now around 70% of our entire revenues, followed by Nykaa, Amazon, and then the other offline channels.
That is the view coming in terms of the kind of growth that you have seen. What about competition? Because one can't deny, Shubhika, that there are a lot of homegrown brands that are cropping up, that are using, a lot of these similar, have a similar sort of a product line, are focused on Ayurveda, are focused on sustainability, etc. Is that a bit of a threat?
I mean, I see competition as a motivation and not as a threat. Also, because competition, what it does is when there are so many brands, it also creates a lot of awareness in people to buy more products or start using skincare products. So we don't see it as a threat. But what our differentiating factor is, and what I believe in, and what we believe in at RAS, is that we have to stay true to our core. Yes, there are a lot of brands coming up, but none of the brands is a farm to face, skincare and wellness brand, which has its own farms in which, they do their own research. And that's what we're doing. We actually grow our ingredients. We actually have our own R&D facility and our own manufacturing facility in which we manufacture according to the highest European standards. So in the end, the product quality speaks for itself, and that is what I feel would set us apart. And in this kind of funding winter also, when there is a differentiated brand with high margins and great execution, I don't think then it's a difficulty for a brand to raise money with that kind of a differentiation. And here at Trust, we actually believe in value creation and not valuation.
Value creation and not valuations. But of course, this is a show where we will be touching upon both of those points. So you said your D2C platform is about 70% of your total revenue. What are the other streams that you look at? You mentioned that, there's Nykaa, Amazon, other e-commerce platforms that you garner revenues from, luxury spas, airlines. Will there be any other revenue streams down the line, perhaps with this fundraise?
Yes. So after this fundraise, we're actually in the process of opening our first store in India. And post that opening and learnings from the mistakes we may make in that store, we would be expanding stores to the tier one cities and where our audience is. So EBOs is one thing that we will be focusing our attention to this financial year, along with international expansion. So we are having interest from, we participated in an expo and we had interest from around 29 distributors of different countries in Europe and worldwide. And we are looking at international expansion. That is also where we will be focusing on, apart from the other online and offline channel that we currently have. So USA and UAE is our focus, along with, I think, South Africa and Mauritius. Yeah.
USA, UAE, okay, so you're clearly looking at those international markets as well. Just walk us through what is the timeline for some of these store launches, and what kind of revenue is it that you're estimating to garner from these standalone stores?
So with these stores, the timelines for opening this store is literally, I think 45 to 60 days, because it's in the phase of now the construction of the store, which would be starting. The revenues, it's varied. Like, it's also our first stint into an offline store. So even we are very nervous on how would the response be. But we are expecting revenues initially around 4 lakhs to up to 10 to 14 lakhs, depending on a lot of factors. Because we've seen what our competition in those areas, the kind of revenues they are doing and the kind of product width that they have. As per that, that's what we have kind of estimated that to be.
Wanted to understand what the overall outlook is, your long-term game plan for the company?
So we at RAS, we've been a very frugal company when it comes to utilization of funds, or when it comes to even raising money. We do not believe in raising too much money or diluting too much of our equity. And in this kind of environment, we have a very positive outlook to what we are wanting to do, because it's been 6 years since we've been doing this, and we know exactly what our customer wants, and we have a lot of customer love. With that, we in the next 1 to 3 years, we are looking at converting this to a very sustainable and profitable business. We are looking at having this brand built in a long-term, sustainable and profitable fashion. That is what our outlook is. And our strategies also, be it of our offline stores, be it of the online channels, be it the focus on the D2C, and now also, going to quick commerce, it all is in that direction of being sustainable and profitable.
So do you source all of your materials, etc., domestically?
Regarding our materials, so at our farms, we grow around 35 to 45 ingredients that can grow in our farms. Then we have around 3,000 farmer partners in India, from whom we buy a lot of these materials, and we make extracts and essential oils, and we source essential oils and other ingredients too. Few of the active ingredients which are not available in India, we import some of the active ingredients. So that is what we do with the ingredients. But all of the products we manufacture at our manufacturing facility, which is FDA approved in Raipur, Chhattisgarh. And we're based out of Raipur and Mumbai. So we have 2 offices now.
All right, we'll let you go on that note.